For more than 7 days, I've been putting every single crazy feature of the next generation Ray-Ban Metas to the test. So are these AI smart glasses actually worth picking up? If you've never owned smart glasses before, who are they for? And what enormous mistakes do you need to avoid so you don't regret everything? Find out in this video. But first, if you appreciate me doing all this test, going out, collecting all this footage, spending a ton of money on rage rooms and mini golf, all I ask is that you subscribe so I can recoup some of those costs. Right now, the button's down there, it's completely free. But if you never want to see my face again, please don't subscribe. So these glasses start at $379 and they go up from there depending on if you want sunglasses or transition. Transitions being the most expensive. But I'm gonna save you a ton of money right now. Do not buy transition. That is the first huge mistake people make. They buy the transitions that come with the Ray-Ban Metas and they suck. But I have multiple solutions that are much cheaper and much better quality. The first option is third-party lenses. I have countless videos on this. I'll leave the best options down in the description below. One that's really good for budget and one that's really good if you want to spend extra money. The nice thing about getting third party, 90% of the time it's going to be cheaper and they're going to get darker. And don't worry, you can still get a prescription with all but the cheapest link in the description. And don't be afraid of breaking them or anything. The lenses come out really easily. Second option is to get a pair of clip-ons like this. So if you have clear lenses, you can just snap these on in less than a second. And then you have sunglasses outside. And what I love about these is they get way darker than any transitions you can possibly get. They're mirrored, so they reflect backwards, making them appear even darker. And they come in a bunch of really cool colors like this purple, ice blue, chrome, silver, black, whatever you could want. Those are in the description below. So I have a huge confession to make. I've actually been testing the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s for almost 2 years. So I already know what the ideal user is for these glasses, for the Gen 1s or the Gen 2s. And I will say the number one biggest thing anyone I've ever met uses these glasses for is for capturing moments, photo, video, or content creation. So here's an idea of what that can do. These glasses are upgraded from the last pair because they record in 3K 30 FPS, meaning you can shoot vertical and even zoom into horizontal and it still looks really, really good. Unlike the previous version, which only shot in 1080. So that's a pretty big game changer here, but enough of me yapping. Look at this rage room footage because it is just so satisfying. I'm also wearing a visor during this and it looks really great, even with the extra hard plastic blocking the view. I think the TV is broken. Apparently, I didn't know that. Now, before I show you the low light or anything like that, there is another huge thing that completely stops people from buying these glasses, and that is the fact that when you record a video or take a picture, a giant flashing indicator light lights up the entire room just like this. So if you're not buying these glasses just because of that, I have a solution that's only going to cost you like 15 bucks. I've tested all the different solutions, and this one for the Gen 2 specifically works perfectly. All you need is this accessory. Peel one off and stick it onto the front top right of the glasses, making sure there is an opening at the top. Go ahead and push it down there. Now when I record a video, you don't see that flashing LED at all, but you can still see the light on the inside, indicating that it is recording. If you were not getting these glasses just because of the LED light that you find annoying, it only costs 15 bucks to fix it, and you don't have to drill any crazy holes. Now let's take a look at the stabilization. This is while go-karting. It looks really, really amazing, even with my head bobbing everywhere. Super low to the ground, lots of shaking and jittering. Here's also some footage from the old Gen 1s versus the old GoPro. Ray-Ban Metas actually have better stabilization than GoPros, which are literally action cameras. Stabilization impossible to beat anywhere else in the smart glasses market for sure. Finally, let's take a look at the low light. So we went mini golfing long after dark, not very much light at all. And this is what it looks like. Still not amazing. Roku glasses low light is a lot better, but think of it what you will. You're definitely going to want to bring lights around with you if you're shooting late at night, or you're just going to have to accept the grainy footage. Okay, great. So now that we've talked about all of that, what else do these glasses have to offer? What else do people actually use them for? Well, the second biggest thing I've noticed everyone uses any pair of Ray-Ban Metas for is actually just listening to music or calling people, using it as your microphone and speakers. Luckily, the sound quality of the Ray-Ban Metas is really, really good. If you're hearing impaired, they don't get super loud, so maybe not the best option for you, but the sound quality, in my opinion, is really, really good. Pretty on par with my old AirPods Pro 2. Plus, you can hear all your surroundings since nothing goes into your actual ears. Sound quality is a great plus. Now, I mentioned listening to music, and one really cool feature is you can custom set the tap and hold on the side to start playing songs on Spotify that it thinks you would like. This is a really cool feature if you just want to listen to music, but you don't know what what to listen to, you can literally just tap and hold on the side after you set it in your settings like this. So after all that, all we are left with is the AI features. There's a ton of them and I've covered almost every single update, so I'll just list the ones that a lot of people use. Number 1, celebrity voices, John Cena, Kristen Bell, ton of other ones, really funny and engaging to listen to. Number 2, live AI. So you can actually put these on and ask questions about things you're looking at. I'm trying to exit this park. Which way should I go?
To exit the park, head towards the buildings in the distance. You can see a few tall structures.
I can't see, actually.
I'm here to help. Since you can't see, I'll try to provide a more detailed description. Take a few steps forward.
Number 3, live translation. So they have live translation in 6 languages. I did a whole live translation test against a bunch of other live translation headphones, AirPods Pro 3. If you want to check that video out, it is in my library. But long answer short, these are like the second best as far as accuracy and speed of live translation goes for auditory responses. Really good for things like Spanish, French, Italian, but unfortunately they don't have Japanese yet. And lastly, of course, we have general AI questions. People use this, but not as much as they think they would. Honestly, they ask more look and ask questions instead, where they'll look around and be like, hey, what kind of tree is this? What kind of strange animal is standing in front of me? What item on the menu seems the healthiest? Whatever you're looking at, you can ask the question about it. And that is a feature that I use from time to time. What should we do in Washington, D.C. for the vibes?
To catch some great vibes in Washington, D.C. Consider checking out the National Mall with its iconic monuments.
Definitely more than just general AI questions. Finally, we have the new features in these glasses, including being able to shoot in 60 FPS, which they haven't released the update for yet, and conversation focus mode, which basically makes the volume of the person in front of you louder. So if you're like in a loud bar or something, or you're hard of hearing, it will amplify the voice of the person in front of you and make it seem like it's suppressing the voice of everyone else. So whoever you're looking at is what you'll hear more. I would love to test this, but they also haven't released this in any of the updates yet. But as soon as they do, I will definitely be covering it. So make sure you stay subscribed to the channel if you want to see how that works. Overall, these glasses are really, really good, and having double the battery life of the Gen 1s is probably one of my favorite new features of them. Now when I'm recording, I don't really notice them dying or listening to music for hours at a time. I don't randomly have to charge them in the middle of the session, which kind of sucks. But with these Gen 2s, I don't have that problem at all. So if you want longer battery life and better video quality when you're punched into horizontal, those are honestly the main reasons to get the Gen 2s. Other than that, I would just stick with the Gen 1s. That conversation focus mode is being rolled back to these as well. They're way cheaper and they're the exact same size. So if you don't care about having ultra 3K quality or zooming in to your videos and you're not going to be wearing them all day, then I would get the Gen 1s instead of the Gen 2s. And if you want a screen in your glasses, neither of these have that. So be sure to check out my other videos on tons of other HUD display glasses options available for you. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.